Whenever an American gets exasperated or fed up with things going on here in America, they say, I'm moving to Canada. Fuck this. Have you ever met any of those people?
Yes.
All right, here we go. The 15-minute morning show podcast. Where are you? Where's my hole? Oh, there's my hole. Hi, hole.
What up?
What a day. We have Scary in the studio. We've got Froggy in his fake bricked bedroom.
It's not fake.
Danielle's in the basement. There's Scotty B in the cereal library.
Yeah.
Gandhi's in studio in New York City, along with Nate, who hasn't showered since Thursday.
No, Saturday. Hello.
And there's Garrett on a screen over there. No. Are you on a screen? Where are you?
Yeah. Sharing a screen.
Garrett is with Jarrett, our friend visiting from Proud FM in Toronto.
And Jarrett.
It's the Garrett and Jarrett show.
Yeah.
Garrett and Garrett show. Jarrett, first of all, welcome to New York City. Welcome back.
Thank you. Love New York.
Well, it's yours. Take it. Please leave it the way you found it.
Hey, Jarrett, look what I got for you because I knew that you were coming.
Oh, my God.
Timbits.
What are Canadian?
Chocolate glazed cereal.
Yes.
Timbits? They're the little donut holes from Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons.
Oh, my God. A Canadian donut chain.
Oh,
got
don't
it.
get
You
Scary
got it.
near it. He's going to
Scary.
eat it all.
They have them they have Tim Horton in the States now. You know that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know
They're
that.
all
I didn't
over.
know that Timbits was related to Tim Hortons, though.
Okay.
Did you see how excited? Do you see how excited Scary got? It's
Yeah.
like, oh!
He reclined in his chair. He threw his tits back. That's
Scary gets so excited about exciting things. Anyway, it's now time to play a new game we call Ask a Canadian. Since you're here visiting, you're a Canadian. You're the only one who's qualified.
Oh, no.
All right. All right. Who wants to be the first to ask?
I'm gonna
a Canadian?
start.
Okay. Yes.
I've
By the
been
way,
talking-
you shouldn't start. You haven't bathed since Thursday. Can we get into that?
Saturday. We'll talk about that later. Okay, my first question is Jarrett, resident Canadian. So I noticed you been talking for the last hour, and you haven't said A yet.
Oh, I try
Did you
not
have to try and eliminate that from your vocabulary?
I do, yes. A lot of my friends here in New York said, "How come? Are you really from Canada?" Because I don't ever say A. I try not to say A. All my friends do though, right? A. I hate that.
Okay.
That's how we finish all our sentences. I can't believe it. A.
So a
That's not me.
subsequent question, why do you do that?
I don't know where that comes from. I don't know. I honestly don't know where that comes from. I think when you're born in Canada, you come out of the womb, and I think that's the first word you know. A.
I don't know. If I fell out of a womb, I don't think that'd be my word I'd be using. But let me ask you this. Okay, let me add to that question. Jarrett, what is the equivalent Americans say all the time?
Oh, good call.
Is that like a really American thing?
That's a total American thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you say thanks very much. Mm-hmm. And see, I always get it like sometimes, when they go, it could mean it could mean a couple of things, but
Yes, it's all about the tone.
yes, it's all about the tone. But I love that. So I find myself doing that now here.
Well, I have
All
a
right,
question.
Froggy. Gandhi. The floor recognizes Gandhi.
Okay, cool. What are the most shocking things to you about America? I know you've been here before, but what stuns you as a Canadian when you look at us?
No, nothing really.
What?
I have to say nothing. No, nothing. I mean, Toronto and New Yorkers have a lot of similarities.
This is true.
So, there's some interesting people around my hotel, I have to say. But that's not shocking. You see that back home. You see that in every big city. But no, I can't think of anything really.
See, one of the things that a lot of my friends from other countries say is they're always shocked about how obese Americans are, that we look so fit and thin and amazing on TV because that's what we put on TV. And then they come here and they see us and they're like, what in the hell?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Go to like
There is
Disney.
always a lot of food here. There is like a lot of food. Yeah. A lot of portions. The portions are really big.
Huge.
They
It
are.
was so funny, but you say that because in Toronto, when my brother came and visited, he said he couldn't believe how fit everybody was in Toronto. Because I'm originally from Winnipeg. So I don't know if there's fatties, I guess, in Winnipeg. I don't know. Oh, I'm going to be in trouble now.
Oh, now. You see what happens when you come into our den? You get a little extra sassy. Hey, so here's something I've noticed. You've said Toronto many times, and we were always told it's Toronto with no T in the middle.
Toronto. Yeah. I mean, they always have to correct me. When I first came to Toronto, they say, you have to say Toronto. So, it's Toronto. Yeah.
Okay.
Toronto.
Well,
Toronto.
we'll say
Come to Toronto.
them both.
I'm going to say T-Town.
Yes, Danielle.
The 416.
So we have America's Got Talent and American Ninja Warrior. Do you have Canada's Got Talent and Canadian Ninja Warrior?
I think they just launched a Canadian version. Something Simon Cowell's involved in. Yeah, I just saw the commercial. for that.
Nice.
Yes, yeah, Simon Cowell. They're doing a Canadian version.
Do you have Canadian Idol?
We did years ago, not anymore though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so what have we ripped off from Canada? What
Yeah.
was it like? What was a big show in Canada that we ripped off down here? Can you think of one? Get back to me on that.
We rip off a lot of European shows,
Wasn't
like
Degrassi
British stuff.
Canadian?
Degrassi.
Degrassi was
With
Canadian.
That was
Drake.
with Drake.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also Canadian.
What about you, Froggy? Ask a Canadian.
Okay, so I know you're from Toronto, whatever, and you said you had been to Winnipeg. If as an American, what is one city in Canada if you're going to visit that you have to go to? What's the first place we should go to?
Oh, Toronto for sure.
Toronto.
Oh,
okay.
okay, all right.
I mean, when I lived, I'm originally from Winnipeg, so anytime I travel in the States, people say, "Oh, I just start saying I'm from Canada," because nobody ever knew Winnipeg. And they were like, "Where are you from?" And it's always Toronto, Vancouver. Those are what the Americans know. They don't know any other city. So.
True.
Wow. We're learning a lot from a Canadian.
Yes.
I have a question. Whenever an American gets exasperated or fed up with things going on here in America, they say, "I'm moving to Canada. Fuck this." Have you ever met any of those people?
Yes.
Really?
They made it over? How did they
Give
get
me
there?
stories about that.
Yes.
Because I always feel like that's just like an empty threat. And like, "Oh, fuck this. I'm moving to Canada."
I've heard that it's harder to get into Canada than it is to get into the United States.
Yeah.
No, it's harder. I've always tried to come to the U.S., so I need Elvis's help on that.
Come on
We
down.
can trade.
So, who are these people? Are they nice? I mean, what?
Oh,
What's your experience with
I
them?
think that was the whole, this is back when you guys, the former president was around. That's, I think, a lot of that. I think
So
that's simmered
people-
down now a little bit.
People actually said, "Screw
Yes.
this. I'm out of here. I'm moving to Canada," and they did.
And they did.
They did.
Wow. Okay.
I thought it was just like people just blowing skirt up.
Exactly.
Blowing
Yeah,
the
did
wind
people
up
in
your
Canada
skirt,
ever go,
you know.
"I'm tired of this shit. I'm going to America"?
Well, you heard a lot of that. When everybody was said if Trump got elected 4 more years, you heard a lot of people saying, "I'm out of here. I'm out of here."
For sure.
Like a lot of celebrities were saying it too.
But what Froggy just asked is interesting. Do you ever have people say, "Fuck this. We're moving to America.
Yeah.
We're moving to the United States"? No one does that.
He
do
said
they?
no.
No, I don't think so. No. But
No, there's-
I don't know.
I mean,
do you guys hate South Park?
I'm not a fan of South Park.
Man.
Well, I just mean, because the song and the Blame Canada song.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never seen a South Park episode in my life.
And wasn't Schitt's Creek filmed there? Right? Wasn't Schitt's Creek in Canada?
Yes. Yeah, Schitt's Creek it's actually filmed about an hour from Toronto.
Is it a big tourist area now?
Yeah,
People
the
from
hotel
America
is
driving up there?
Yeah, the little motel, and it's up for sale by the way too, Elvis. If you want to buy it.
Here's what I need. I need a Canadian motel. That's what I'm
There you
missing.
go. And they're gonna
Hey, so Jared-
whoever buys it will turn it to a museum, which would be big money.
Okay. So, Jared, I have a question for you. Here in the United States, on the Federal Communications Commission, they have rules that we must follow if we're on a broadcast station where we can't say words like fuck and shit.
Right.
FCC. Are those rules, those are basically the same rules that you have in Canada? What are things that are we breaking laws every day on
Good question.
our
We have the CRTC.
Canadian station?
CRTC. So it's pretty much the same. We can't do what you guys can't do. So it's a lot stricter though. It's a lot stricter.
Well,
And
that's my
people are a
point.
little bit more free. Like, if I said something, listen, PD years ago told me if you ever have to hesitate and decide not to say something on the air, if you have a hesitate, don't do it. Every day when I'm in the studio, that still goes through my mind. I'm thinking,
Well, what can you not
because
do
it's a gay
there?
radio station I'm at, so you can, my sense of humor is not necessarily everybody's sense of humor.
Right.
So what me and my friends find funny is not necessarily what the listeners might find. So I sometimes have to think, no, I better not do that.
Well, I know, but my point is this. If we can get away with a lot more here than you do there, we're doing that on your station there. Are we breaking any Canadian rules?
No. You guys haven't done anything yet, and I hope so because it just gets us more publicity.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Bring it.
Have you gotten any complaints
No.
about our
no,
show yet?
No, nothing.
Oh, we
What
gotta work
makes your
harder.
radio station gay? You say it's a gay radio
I
station.
know. Everybody always asks that. You guys are like, well, what is it? The music that's gay? I know. We get that all the time. I think it's just when I took over the station, I've made it more inclusive. So it's talking to everybody because, we want ears with everybody. We just have a lot more content and issues that celebrate the LGBTQ plus community.
Wow.
But other than that, you wouldn't even know. It's just, I think that's what the problem before. I have to be careful what I say. Yes. I know the president's name. What did you say? That I just felt that, we needed to open it up a little bit more and talk to the entire audience. I mean, because
I'm glad you did.
Yeah. So, and I think it's better. It's like more relatable, and everything is about how you can relate. I mean, you guys know that every day with doing your show. You know who your target audience, and so if you start talking about stuff that people can't relate to, they'll be like, as simple as that. And I always do it as that. Think about what people did last night. Everybody, what they did last night, whether you're gay or straight. There's certain things that everybody does. On TV, they watch certain things, so you have to be kind of up on all that stuff.
Well, I love Proud FM. And like I've said over and over, I was a fan of Proud FM long before we were on there. And having you in our studio is this is weird. I'm
weird.
I'm fangirling because Jarrett's in our studio.
No, I'm fanning. What are you
No,
talking
I'm
about?
fine. I'm fanning. Don't take it away from me. Let me fan. We're all fanning. Yeah, straight, Nate.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. Does Canadian radio still have that law or rule where you have to play a Canadian artist every?
Yes.
Can you explain that to everyone?
Yes, we have to play on Proud FM. We have to play. I think it's 36% Canadian. So, yeah, it's hard. So, and then the challenge too of all radio stations in Canada is if you're a rock station, you have to find a great Canadian, rock song. Sometimes there's not a lot to choose from. Or, for example, for Proud, it's a dance station, so we have to try to find artists that have dance. And it's challenging.
Because growing up in Erie, I remember listening to some Canadian radio stations at the time. Alanis Morissette was playing like every 15 minutes because I think that was one of the few Canadians. So, second question, more of a personal question: what position did you play on your childhood hockey team?
I didn't play hockey.
Oh my God, the first Canadian.
No, I didn't. But
What's up with
I'm a
that?
twin. My brother played.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. And he still plays a lot. He's obsessed.
Hey, speaking of hockey, have you noticed that hockey players are the stinkiest? They really smell more than any other sport.
The equipment is gross.
I don't know. Have you smelled Nate though?
That's
Nate,
why he's over there.
How
right?
come you haven't bathed since Saturday?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
Let's ask a guy. It's now time for Ask a Guy from Erie.
No, I don't want to hear the answer to this.
So,
And by the way, Jared, we're going to turn the tables. You have to ask us questions in a minute. Okay. Why did you not bathe? Have you not bathed since Saturday?
because on Saturday morning, I finally had a BM, and I was able to do
Oh my gosh.
my
it's a grandma
stool
term.
sample kit and take it to the doctor. And as soon as I was done with that, I didn't get anything on me. But I just felt so filthy having done that I showered, and then I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking the weekend off from showering. So
That's
see,
the
I told
dumbest
you
answer
you didn't want
ever.
to fucking know.
So you haven't
How
washed
can you have it?
your balls or your sweat where you're all sweaty or not? You haven't watched any of that?
I didn't really. Well, I went to the pool on Saturday.
Why do you guys all think the pool is a shower?
It's not.
You
So
get
many
wet.
people say the pool is a shower.
You get wet.
You have to rinse the chlorine off.
No, you don't.
Your
And the
balls
pee.
get sticky. They stick
This
to your
is
leg.
gross.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
I'm so glad we asked you that question, and even more glad you answered it.
You're welcome.
How come you haven't bathed since Saturday? Well, I had to shit in a barrel Saturday morning.
Wasn't
God.
fun.
So, Jared, it's your turn now. Ask
Oh
us
my
anything.
God! After that, right?
Ask a stinky straight boy. Nate, you're up first.
Hey-oh.
Did you have any questions for us crazy United States citizens?
I can't think of anything.
You see,
No,
you
I
pretty much
honestly-
know us you know us anyway. So
I know you guys. Like I listen to you guys every morning. So.
Love you for that.
Wow.
He's being a
gotta make-
stereotypical Canadian, polite.
Yes, that's another thing.
I know. That's what people say. This is what Canadians always. They always say they're sorry.
Oh, yeah,
sorry.
Yeah,
And a boat.
always sorry.
Sorry.
So I said to one person the other day, before actually when I was at the airport at Pearson, somebody said something to me. They go, "Oh, sorry." I said, "What are you sorry for?" They just looked at me. I don't like. Why do people? I don't do that. I don't. What are you sorry for? Sorry for what? Like, I don't. That's
Exactly.
a total Canadian thing.
Next time they say I'm sorry, just say what? Did you fart?
I'm going to.
That's always a crowd pleaser. Well,
Yes.
Jared, it's an honor to have you here, and it's an honor to be on Proud FM in Toronto, or Toronto, as you say. Say it any way you want. We're just so happy to be on, and that's such an incredible city, and we got to get more listeners. Tell us what to do.
Yeah, well, hey, it was an honor having you guys, and I still remember when I first heard your show when I was in New York. You guys, I think I told you this. I don't know if all of you know this story, but I was in an Uber and I heard the Elvis Duran show, and I wasn't in charge of Proud FM at the time. I was like, oh, that's a great morning show. That's a great, So, I get back to my office and everything, and then COVID happens. I get laid off. Then they bring me back in this new role to take over Proud FM. And I've always was familiar with Proud, but I always looked after our sister station, so I really didn't have too much to do with Proud FM. And so I said, if I ever get a shot to be the guy to decide everything, this at least I got a morning show in my back,
That's
and then it
great.
happened.
Wow.
It
That's
was
awesome.
Like,
Wow.
laid off, come back. They're like,
See?
hey, we got to put you in this new role, Proud FM. And they're like, I said, you can do whatever you want. So I was like, well, I need to get a morning show. And then I don't even know if I don't know if Elvis you were listening to before we did the podcast, but I said I want to get the Elvis Duran show, and people were laughing at me. They were laughing. They're like, "Are you crazy? You're not gonna get no fucking." They thought I was nuts. They thought I was nuts. They're like, Elvis Duran, no.
Well, look
They're
at
like,
that.
Z100. They're like, come on. No, they thought that was never gonna happen. So I was like, why? Like, and I was like, oh no, don't play that because I will be. I said, okay, well, we'll prove it. And
you did it.
Then look
And we could not be happier. And we thank you. We
Elvis
owe
was
you.
expensive.
We owe you our lives. We love being on in Toronto. It's such an honor. And
We
Jared,
so love you.
It's
And
great
you know
having
what?
you
One more
here.
thing too, I have to give a dig to our sister station. I love your show so much, and then I love when you guys have all the celebrity guests on. And one day you guys had Bethany Frankel on and Ed Sheeran. I rubbed that in everybody's face. I'm like, who did you have on your morning show?
Yes, Jarrett.
Oh, there is more to the Bethany Frankel story.
Oh, do tell.
Not
Do
to-
tell.
And we're done.
Damn.
We love Bethany. All right, we love you, Jared. Thanks for coming in.
Love
We'll see
you
you
more.
soon, okay?
Guys, thank you.